Hi traders, this is Thiago and welcome to Bull Bear Futures channel. Today I'm carrying out another live transmission. I've been doing it in Portuguese in the latest sessions, but today I'm gonna turn back to the English. Our objective here is purely educational. Here I'm aiming at narrating the flow, narrating the market through the order flow perspective and showing how mixing techniques, how combining techniques may be helpful for your trading strategy. Okay, so as usual, we're going to start with a market brief, with a quick brief about previous session and about perspective for current one. So let's take this 3 minutes. We have to make this brief. So moving to my chart here, to my screen, let's just put my glasses here. We have here I have the weekly chart from E-Mini S&P, and we see that this week we just touched the 20 period moving average. I like using it as a reference for midterm trend perspective. We've seen this been respected for 2 or 3 times before, and we see that last week we just lost it, but there was a rejection and close was above it. And this week so far we're moving upwards, and we had this green candle. Let's see how it closed tomorrow, but so far we had this. We're probably facing could be probably facing this resistance from 490 to 500 here. It's been a resistance before, so we should be vigilant should prices move up there. But at the same time, when we see the daily perspective, since beginning of August we had this clear downtrend here. We could trace this downtrend line that has been respected once in August 15th. And yesterday, price moved upwards moved up above it, even though it was after the regular closing. And we had the close at 447. Boa, Jonatas. Cara, só fazendo inglês de novo aqui pra galera de fora. Valeu, meu. Depois a gente volta pro português aí nos próximos dias. Bom te ver aqui junto. Obrigadão aí pelo comentário. So guys, it's important to see how we're right in an important region here from 67. The 20 period moving average is right there. You see here 67.80. So let's see if we'll be able to, price will have fuel to move upwards. And in 6-minute perspective, we for the first time traded consistently above the 20 period moving average. This could be this is the first prerequisite to make 60 minutes is the shorter time frame I've shown you. So this is where the trend start changing, but let's see if we will have fuel enough to keep moving upwards. The night has been spent all the time above the yesterday's closing, that was 447, and we are also above the value area. But let's take a look, because we're right at the overnight low at 62. So the first thing we should observe is how price will behave here. Trading downwards, moving downwards, we should look at 454, 450, 442 and 43. Okay, let's see, just opening. We've been seeing before the opening selling aggressions stronger than buying one. Let's see here. if this region of the 62 will be forced, and if so, if it will resist. We're seeing here buying aggressions but selling absorption. An exhaustion at 60, right at 62. Lots of absorption, selling absorption right there. The exhaustion at 61. Sellers keep putting pressure. Let's see to where they could make the move. We've seen lots of buying aggression, but selling absorptions at 63. Sellers keep putting pressure right there. We have the value area high at 54. Buyers starting to absorb seller's aggression here, but seller it's been really aggressive. Remember that last close was 447, and the value area high is 54.75. Let's see how it will behave. We do not have a clear range so far. Let's see. Have a kind of mess from 65 here to 57. Let's see if we'll have some indications a bit more clear. Now we started seeing it was prevailing selling aggressions in the times and sales. Now we started seeing some buying aggressions. But so far, sellers have been able to displace the price. Let's see what will be the case. Yesterday we've seen buyers really strong. It was kind of the opposite situation we've seen the previous sessions, where even though buyers were making aggressions and constantly buying, but sellers were absorbing all the pressure and able to keep pushing prices down, and liquidity found in lower and lower levels. We see here that they keep putting pressure, buyers absorbing. You see here this huge absorption in the lows, but at the same time buyers making huge aggressions but being absorbed by the sellers here. Aí, Jonatas, a briga embaixo, né? Aquela coisa da absorção, ó. Os compradores tomando forte, mas o vendedor absorvendo na mínima, né? Embora aqui agora temos absorção dos dois lados, temos a regiãozinha de liquidez. Now we're seeing absorption and aggression from both sides. Let's see if we'll find a kind of floor here in terms of liquidity. Yeah, but sellers are actually strong. We just touched the value area high here. Okay, at the value area is the 54.75. We had an exhaustion at 54. Exaustão aqui, Jonatas, bem em cima do topo da área de valor, né? Vamos ver até onde vai conseguir. Let's see. We had this kind of a rejection here. Let's see where they will be able to, let's see where the buyers will be able to move, if they are able actually to take the lead. We have kind of an interesting region from 56 to 58 here. This region, let me see my notes, 55 to 57 is a region I had noted. Let's see, we had the overnight low is 62. It's been easily broken at the opening, and afterwards in the 7 minutes buyers are not able to push price up there. You see that we had an exhaustion at 775, and then tested again the value area low, but with an exhaustion one tick below previous low. So this exhaustion here, an important region, could lead to not a reversal, but at least a buying reaction that could last a bit longer. But suffering to overcome and failing to overcome the 57. We're seeing that it's today, even though we're still positive so far, we are facing a condition such as last week, 3 or 4 sessions last week, buyers suffering to move price upwards. We see the times and sales here is kind of mixed. It's not prevailing. Oh, now we started seeing, we've seen here 129, a stronger aggression from sellers, absorbed. Let's see. We've seen a couple of buying absorption here, but suffering to overcome the 57. So far seems to be the region to be overcome, the first region to be overcome, and then succeeding there, we could have the 60, 62 to see what would be happening. Oh, look here, I was with the 2-minute, but now I have here my 4,000 tick chart. We're seeing the struggle here right at the top of the value area. The bottom of value area is at 433. We've lost the low of the range here, but there was an exhaustion. But considering the selling pressure, sellers keep putting pressure. Let's see if they reach the 56 at least again. Continue downwards here. Let's possibly the 450 could see a pause, but looking at my third volumetric bar here, we see that so far the only region we could mark here would be 56 to 55 to 57. So in the case of moving upwards, this would likely to offer some resistance, but overcoming this then could lead to a new tests up there. So it would be important to, in the case of overcoming there, to see where the flow would reach up there. But so far what we've seen is, look here, even with strong aggression from buyers, they're not being able to move upwards. The first 15 minutes candle closed. It's a big red one. You see that this time price did not even reach the 56. Here was 54.25. The last reaction has just moved up to the. Fala, Cleo, bom dia. Fazendo em inglês aqui hoje, há muito tempo eu não fazia, então hoje eu estou fazendo em inglês para deixar registradinho lá para os amigos de fora, ok? Obrigado por estar aí. So guys, let's see. So far, buyers are there, but failing to displace upwards. If we see here in our volume at price, we see clearly here the 56 to 57 is maybe the crucial region here. Guys are failing to reach it, and let's see if it will happen this time. Remembering that 54.25 is the value area high here. Let's see if this time the 56.25 and then 58. It would be interesting to see price managing to reach at least 58. But not even reaching the 56.75 could be seen as a confirmation of the weakness, and it would be hard to so even though we are positive, we're still in the positive territory with plus 0.31%. So far we've seen that the sellers are stronger. The depth of market here, we have around 1,000 contracts. Latest sessions, a couple of weeks ago, we've been seeing 1,600, 1,800, but latest sessions 1,200, 1,000 or 1,200, or here 1,000 contracts. It's been more usual. 800 could be a bit few. You see that so far the point of control is right at 56, most traded point of the session. We had an exhaustion right above this point of control at 650. So we've seen that moving towards the point of control, we could expect to see more aggressions there, but we had the opposite, right? The opposite. We had an exhaustion right when we overcame it, or when we reached it. So this is also a confirmation of lack of strength, or I mean the weakness we are witnessing so far. We had this exhaustion at 52 down here. Let's see. Maybe we start making a big range. Let's see if there will be sellers needing to sell below this. Trading below this, losing this 51 could be a confirmation of the weakness, and then we could see sellers increasing the pressure below the 50 here. We had that exhaustion right at 51, making the low. Let's see. If we'll have this big range here from 52 to 57, 58, maybe the guys find liquidity enough here, and then we could see prices ranging within it. But this time, let's see here, trying to overcome the point of control. They should be more aggressive. We're still seeing things mixed right here at the time and sales. Another aggression and 650. Did you see? This such a region, we should see a stronger aggression to be overcome. Now we've seen a big order there, but it was only one. Now right at the point of control, buyers making aggressive orders, but sellers absorbing. Now it seems that they are trying to. They are trying to overcome it, but now an exhaustion there. But this time we're seeing that latest minutes, we're seeing more buying aggressions here. So, hi Oscar, fala meu, tudo bem? Bom dia. Bom tê-lo aqui no time de inglês também. So as I was telling, we've seen exhaustions in two previous attempts, but now we're seeing this series of buying aggressions. Sometimes it's not enough to, it's never certain, but to see a consistent breakout, we should see this. So this time it got perfect clear, the difference from the previous two attempts with exhaustions. And now look here at the second volumetric bar, we see buying aggressions all over the way above the 57. Let's see until where they will be able to displace it. Let's see. We had the 62 was the low before the opening, the overnight low, even though it was reached right before the opening. Let's see if we'll have this range here, make kind of range, or if buyers will be able to keep displacing price upwards. An exhaustion in 150, but they're putting pressure, and those sellers are absorbing. They're succeeding in put pressure there. An exhaustion at 275. Buyers now are really aggressive. After overcoming the point of control, did you see there? They overcame the point of control and were able to keep pushing. Let's see here. The previous high was at 67. Let's see if they will be strong enough to overcome. But it was curious because they were suffering to overcome there, and then now they easily made the move. Let's see how it will behave up here. Now we're seeing prevailing selling aggression up there. It's hard to break out this way, even though buyers are absorbing all the pressure. It would be interesting to see buyers more active at the times and sales. Wow. Yeah. Did they break it? Yeah, it was interesting because firstly they were suffering to push prices up all the time, being absorbed by sellers, and now they easily overcame the high here. Let's see if it will last longer. Let's see if we see kind of maybe an exhaustion down here, and if they will be able to keep pushing upwards, or if sellers will reassume the lead here. Let's see. Sellers are putting pressure, but this time there are the buyers absorbing. Let's see until where they will be able to displace. If they will lose the 62 region, 63. We see buyers making aggressions, but sellers absorbing right at the 425. So let's see if they will be able to keep this absorption and then starting aggressions and displacing price downwards. Let's see if it will be the case. Let's see. We're right at the 62. That is the overnight low. Let's see. $65, let me just check and confirm. 65 was previously an important region. Okay, what we have there also. Man, that's it. 65 was relevant. I mentioned before the 50, we reached the 51 with an exhaustion. So let's see. But anyway, this recover, this reaction, this buying reaction from the 51 was actually a bit strange for me. Okay, right there we had the low of the opening range, that was 51.25. Then we had an exhaustion right there, and this could trigger a reaction, but it in my perspective, in my point of view, it lacked big contracts to make such a big move. Well, and as I usually say, for me it's a bit less reliable, or I trust less when I see bold moves lacking huge intensity or a huge amount of contracts, or big orders, big players doing the move. Okay, because the big players, this time and sales you are seeing my screen, I had another one, not filtered, but this filtered one. These are basically big players orders. Okay, especially the biggest ones, the biggest orders. So we had a well, that fail right above this the opening. In such a scenario I was mentioning, when we see this, when we see the chart, it seems to be strong or contundent, but for me it was strange. And then right after overcoming the key region, it exhausted. And look here, 6-7, easily displaying 6-7 points. So this is a perfect example about how the order flow can be helpful. Okay, look here, look right after what I was saying, look what happened. It was really strange, that hike, that rally. And so when we see such a strong 12 points, look here, 2 minutes, this definitely confirms the weakness we were seeing previously. And at the same time, when price displays easily in one direction, this means that it could be easy to retrace all the move. But you see that we just had an exhaustion at 53. So maybe the case could be to have a big region of liquidity. Don't know, let's wait and see. But anyway, it was actually strange. Jonatas, eu não sei se você tá aí ainda, mas eu tava falando com a turma que esse movimento de alta ali foi bem esquisito, cara. Que foi assim, subiu 15, 16 pontos, mas sem ver no Times and Sales agressões grandes correspondentes à magnitude de um movimento desse tipo, né? Então eu estava exatamente comentando que eu achei estranho a alta. E aí um pouquinho depois que eu comentei, veio essa escorregada de 12 pontos aí. Ou seja, a gente viu uma pressão baixista antes. Então agora, se perder o 51 aí a gente pode ver o dia, talvez a gente segure e fique num grande range aqui, mas se perder o 51, a gente pode ver o dia operando para baixo. So guys, we've just seen, we had here we are right at the low of the opening range. We had previously an exhaustion right there. Then price retraced all the move and tested overcame the high, the opening, right? The high at the opening. Failed there. We've seen a quick bearish reaction, and right now we are seeing it breaking the lower end of the opening range. So we were seeing the selling pressure previously, but reacted, failed there, and we are right here now. Let's see if sellers will need to sell and try to find other levels of liquidity, or if the guys needing to sell will have supply enough up here from the 450, and so we could see they ranging within this range. Let's see. It's all about liquidity. when it's balanced, there's no reason for the buyer want to buy in an more expensive price, neither to the seller want to sell in a lower price. When supply matches the demand, it's perfect for both sides. Calor pacas em São Paulo hoje. Vamos ligar depois de muito tempo o ar condicionado. See guys, look this selling absorption right here at the lows, okay? We've seen, look here at the times and sales, this big aggression, selling aggression. So we are seeing that they made an aggression. Sellers are needing to sell here, and when buyers provide the liquidity, when buyers make aggressive orders, they absorb it all at the integrally at 52.25, okay? So this, in theory, is a sign that we could be seeing kind of imbalance here or starting an imbalance, and we could possibly have more sellers wanting to sell than buyers intending to buy. And when we see this kind of selling absorption in a weak market, this usually precedes the continuation of the move. So, as I was mentioning, after failing at the test of 57, if losing the 51, we could see prices speeding up downwards. So far, it didn't speed up, but confirmed the loss of 51, and let's see the next developments. We have the close at 47. We just had an exhaustion right there, okay? 675, this could be, we could say this could be expected because it's hard to pass through such an important reference. But in this kind of move, it's interesting to see how long is the reaction, how let's see this 46, then 41 in the case of confirming the loss of this region. Let's see the test in the 51, what's going to happen if price actually are able to reach there. You see here that 48.50, we had aggressions from both sides. But failing, suffering to overcome the 48, it would be another signal of 50. It could confirm the The weakness, let's see the 42. 42, 43 was an important region yesterday. It's been previously as well. Let's see. You see that now we're seeing, let's see who will win. But sellers found liquidity here. Buyers started absorbing. So we're still within the closing range, closing area. Let's see if the buyers supply will be able to, what buyers are demanding here, if it will be able to fully absorb or fully supply what sellers are demanding. Now we have this, the tendency is kind of mixed. There's no a clear leader, but here, look here. We've just lost the close and we're seeing, let's see what will be the case. We're seeing sellers absorbing right there. We could have this 48.50 as a reference here, failing to overcome it. Look here at the 60 minutes. We still have 12 minutes until it's closing, but we are having a big red candle, totally the opposite of what we've seen yesterday opening, where we've seen a big green one and we've seen buyers. It was kind of different condition from previous days. Buyers leading during all the session, playing the keyhole. So now we have the 20 period moving average in the 60 minutes at the 426. This could be a reference. Let me see. I'm just looking. Look here. This is my 15-minute chart that only for the regular trading hours. We're right at we spent all the session yesterday trading above it. We're right at the moving average. I also like to see this one. Let's see here. In the afternoon yesterday, the lows were 42, okay, 42.75, 42.25, and 42.50. So this region of the 42 could be an important reference down there. We are seeing this 5-point displacement, but again, look here at the time and sales. We're not seeing buyers that strong, or even though they just made some stronger aggressions, but failing at this 48 here is not that good. We've seen an exhaustion. They overcame the 48.50, kind of lacking intensity in the times and sales, and we had this exhaustion before the 50 right at 9.75. This is definitely not bullish. So if we see here, look here, this line. This line in my top left chart is right the 50 minutes. Let's put a red line here. it's been a strong resistance yesterday morning and then worked as a strong support in the afternoon. So let's see what will happen. Oh, James! Fala, meu, tudo bem? So this 42 here could be could be considered a key region. We are right at the close. 47, hanging up and down. But you've seen here that the 42 could be a key point. But we see guys are finding liquidity here. Do you see? Sellers aggressions, but buyers absorbing. So far it seems to be comfortable for both. But for me, that exhaustion in 975 was another signal that there are no buyers. We're seeing market trading lower and lower levels after that strange recovery that failed at 6-7. Sellers reassumed the lead, and then we're currently seeing what we've seen the first 15 minutes. Let's see the 42, because when we see such a strong amount of trading, such a strong volume close to the next reference, the following reference, there's sometimes that reference kind of lacks its relevance, or its relevance gets reduced, but 42 was too strong. Let's see what will be the case. Clearly prevailing the sellers in the times and sales. Did you see here? An exhaustion at 250, but it's not conclusive yet. Let's see. Buyers making aggressions and sellers absorb it, even though it was not that big, but they absorb it there. Sellers absorbing. We're seeing here, this L means aggressions in the low, okay? This is the condition I always mention, that sometimes it's not enough to make the breakout, but it usually precedes the good breakouts. Buys keep putting pressure. Look here, 54, 53. This could be probably the same guy. When you see big orders in the same second with similar amount, it usually are the big guys. We know that it's hard to think about anyone individually being able to push, but when you see big players making such big orders and not alone, together, this is meaningful. This is really meaningful. 41 is also the pivot point. I was forgetting to mention this, just reached it here. So 42 was important, and we have also the pivot point, and pivot point is very, pivot points and its supports and resistance are interesting reference to be seen. But look here, we've just had the breakout in the 45 region. We are in the lows. Buyers are making aggressions and sellers absorbing. Selling absorption in the lows. Definitely this is a weak signal, a weakness signal. we always need to see it breaking to confirm. But when you see this, it does not mean that I would be enter short right there. Definitely not. But we're always trying to get info to make our context, to elaborate our story. Let's see. Failing to at least reach the 46 or maybe overcome it. This could confirm this. Could confirm this weakness. Let's see. Look here. An exhaustion at 425. But they keep, now we're seeing that more buying aggressions in times and sales. The issue is whether it will be enough to displace price upwards, or if sellers will be able to, or will need to absorb and will be able to retain the move there. But definitely this exhaustion at 425 have shown that maybe buyers were not that hungry. You see here, returning selling aggressions, did you see? From what we've been seeing so far, buyers were able to absorb, or to, they had this supply of contracts here, but in many times this selling aggressiveness meant necessity of selling, and we've seen prices moving downwards and searching for other regions of liquidity. Look here, but buyers are absorbing. Let's see, 900, 400. Look here, the pressure, and look what they're doing. Sellers absorbing the low, sellers making aggressions, and when buyers try to defend or to try to react, sellers absorbed all the effort in the low. This start becoming an interesting case. Look here, I like seeing this kind of struggle in the low or in the high. Did you see, guys? And then after succeeding, they kept putting pressure. Look at this. Did you see the difference from false breakouts? It's amazing how it's different, and how it's the false breakouts. It's the difference is huge. Then we could definitely keep this. The 52 was, the 42 was actually noted. 41 is the pivot point. But look at this. We had this kind of a wall here. We have a ceiling. Now we are moving upwards. Then what we've just seen confirms what we've talking before about the relevance. So when lost the 42, 7 points easily move downwards. If you remember yesterday, the 2930 was a strong resistance. Let's see, in the case of reaching there, how it could work today. we're seeing that it seems we're kind to start to make a new range here from 36 to 38. If price move upwards in this empty space here and fail to overcome or even reach 41, 42 and has an exhaustion and quickly drops, it could confirm this trend. Yeah, James, the 29, you know, the 20, 25, 29 was very strong. Yesterday, it's been really strong. Let's see if they will, how it will work right there. But let's see, yesterday was an atypical day because compared to what we've been seeing before. And so let's see how the supports, the possible supports could be able to work. If it would be able to work today, because we're seeing the sellers with the kind of same power we've seen the 3 or 4 sessions last week. But your short at the opening was right. What was interesting actually. But in this current condition, I feel a bit uncomfortable to try longs. In theory, I would be more comfortable in trying to see prices, to see kind of some reaction, and because from what we're seeing, it's been easier to fall than move upward. So we're seeing buyers suffering to display 2-3 points and sellers displacing 5, 7, 10 points easily. We just reached the value area low. No, we lost it actually. We reached 31 and the value area low is 33.25. Man. Let me just see what we could see here. 36. $26. Maybe 26, 27 could be a good reference actually. And 38, 39 here. We've seen that after losing the 41, prices failed right at the 38, what confirmed the weakness, and for a couple of times it tried and failed up there. It would be interesting to see a retest here in the 41, 42 in this region, and failing up there could actually maybe lead to the best trade. How long we've been? 1 hour and 10 minutes. Let's stay together for more few minutes. Look here, the buyers are putting pressure, but sellers absorbing. Let's see if in this region buying demand overcomes the selling supply. So far it was the opposite, but let's see. Look here, this is another interesting feature, fact I like seeing. We've seen previously an exhaustion at 35.25 and then an exhaustion below at 35. Then now we just, I didn't see when it actually happened, but when I see, for example, an exhaustion and afterwards an exhaustion in a lower level in a weak market, this is something I like seeing. It's interesting to confirm. Let's see this green candle here, if we're going to see a big green one. Exhaustion at 750. Let's see the 9 here, 850 or 9. Things still mixed in times and sales. We're seeing now struggling to even reach the end of the range. An exhaustion in 825. It was missing. Oh, now we've seen it was missing by an aggression, and there was that exhaustion at 825, and then so far one at 725. This is not that auspicious for buyers. Let's see. But this time it's been kind of more difficult to sellers to push downwards. Sellers putting pressure, but this time buyers absorbed here in 6 to 7. We didn't see in the other tries. So when you're moving towards the end of the range and we start seeing this, it's a signal we should read, but at the same time this is not enough to make the breakout. We need to see their increasing activity here at times and sales. Where's the 5 minutes? 5 minutes. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In 5 minutes we had a first. Oh, look here, right at the top of the range. Look this size of this absorption. Did you see this? When buyers were actually strong and made their aggression, they were fully absorbed and exhausted there. This is also not a weakness, but this is not unusual to see this making the signal to, in this case, to make to see price speeding up downwards. Let's see if they will be able to hold, or if price will hold here at the 650. Sellers are making aggressions, but buyers absorbing. So at least for scalpers, this this is frequently a trigger for at least a scalp, but many times you could have some long-lasting trades as well. Let's see. So do you remember the story? We had a couple of exhaustions up there, and when buyers actually put pressure, the aggression was integrally supplied. And you see sellers stronger this time here in the tandem sales. Exhaustion at 32. But when we see this, even though the main aggressions were until the 36, we're again at the value area low. Look here, sellers in the room again, big blocks here. So I will take note about that condition to make a video. It was really interesting to see that absorption at 39. It was an important point. We know we had exhaustions before and we had that big absorption there. To be definitely interesting to make a video. Three, 5, 2. Look here, strong setting absorption in the lows. We've seen that only one guy has made a big buying order. Yeah, guys. Look here, we are almost pretty much at the 6-minute moving average reference. $37. This 6-minute, oh, look here. Look how aggressive they were, and sellers absorbed all the aggression here. Wow. Yeah, I always try to get biased, but I would say that today is not, things are not strange for me. Yesterday was actually strange because I was kind of biased and I didn't imagine that yesterday we could see what we've seen. I was every time expecting that price would revert and move downwards, and it was completely the opposite. It moved upwards all the way, all the session. So that was a surprise. This not. We reached the 26 we mentioned before, the point that James was waiting for. I made my projection and we had a possible target actually there. But in my perspective, I'm seeing sellers very strong. And so far, we didn't see a good scenario for a possible reversal. Let's see what will be the case. So that signal at 39 was really interesting and led to a 13 points, 12 points displacement. Now I started making a range with the top here, the 30. Did you see the, now it's suffering to, this is a clear condition of a bearish session or a bearish moment. Price lose the low. Good, James. Let's see. This is very important. This is actually important region. It would be a good place to revert. It would be a possible place to revert actually. But not sure due to this pressure. Let's see how they will buyers will manage here and maybe absorb. And this is a key region actually. Buyers absorbing, sellers remain leading, but let's see. Buyers absorbing. It would be interesting to see a breakout, then an exhaustion, and buyers really entering. We had 23 contracts, then in the next aggression, 2 contracts. This is something interesting. Let's see which side is going to, let's see here. In this case, I like to keep seeing this. Did you see? Failed here. It would be interesting to see guys powering up. We had an exhaustion at 30.75. Now it would be really important to see guys putting pressure here, see big orders from buyers. Yeah, they started, but another exhaustion. This 31, it would be interesting to reach at least 31.50 here. That was the previous top of that 2 candles. Nice. be interesting to see. The guys entering here, we're seeing this pressure. Sellers absorbing, but it's kind of mostly from small orders. The time and sales keeps predominating the selling aggressions from a couple of minutes. But anyway, that condition we've seen, and I mentioned, I took note as well. We had an exhaustion right at 27.50 at the low, okay? After that struggle in 28, then when price moved there again, it was only 2 contract aggression. So many times this condition, even though was under pressure, at least for a scalping, it many times lead to interesting opportunities. And James trade is working, James. Good. Oh, and now we entered the previous range here. Let's see. We're still seeing sellers absorbing. Big order at 4. Let's see. For me, the fact of he entering this previous range here from 33 is possibly a clue about the potential continuity, and so this time price shouldn't return to the 30. We are seeing that buyers are actually putting pressure here, and many times when it's the case of continuity, the fall of the continuity of the fall, it failed and he entered in the previous range. We could see price returning from 31 to 32. But after succeeding in overcoming this barrier, then it could be possible to see testing the 38 again, because here we could see kind of a big range from 33 to 38. Let's see. On the other hand, failing at 36 region and not even reaching and failing to reach the 38, then it's almost 11. Oh, 1 hour, 130 minutes, 90 minutes of live stream. So guys, I will be finishing around here. Good, James. Yeah, it was a nice trade. Interesting trade. So guys, thank you so much for joining. It's been a while since my last English live. I will try to keep doing it, mixing Portuguese and alternating Portuguese and English. And then, hope you have enjoyed. I will let you know through the community or through the notifications of the channel about next transmissions. Okay, thank you so much, see you. Turma, valeu. Não sei se o Jonatas tá aí ainda. Oscar, Cleo, valeu, turma. Brigadão por estarem também aqui com a turma do inglês. Brigadão, James. Valeu, meu. Obrigado por estar junto aí. Bom tê-lo. É bom quando tem a turma assim que conversa junto, troca uma ideia. É sempre muito enriquecedor. Bom te ver aí. Espero vê-lo nas próximas. Falou, turma.